Hey, what's up guys? Kyle here. I just picked up about 2,000 pounds of these old weights. Quick story on these is the guy got them from Hurricane Katrina. So he actually plopped them out of New Orleans shortly after the storm, and he's had them ever since. So as far as rust and corrosion is concerned, these are legit. So today we're going to go through the whole process of getting this rust off and making these bad boys look as good as new. You can see they're pretty tore up here, and I've got a ton of other stuff back here that I also got to take care of. So it's going to be quite the job. I've seen a couple different ones of these videos. I've done a lot of these projects in the past, so that's really what I want to pull on here. And the videos that I've seen, to be honest, they're not that great and kind of a lot of bad advice. The whole point is we're buying old weights to save a buck. Well, we're not going to put a bunch of money into this. We're not going to put a bunch of unnecessary time into this. You can still get fantastic results without doing all these crazy steps that people are talking about. So let's take a look at what we have here. Everything that you see here, you can get in the link below. So instead of going to the store and spending like 4 hours buying all this stuff, just check out the Amazon site, click buy, and voila, you get it all shipped to you in a day and a half. So what I have here, I'm going to start with this bronze tip wire brush. And if you guessed it, we're going to actually scrape off a lot of these weights. So all that rust, this is what we're going to start with. So get a good brush, it's going to matter. Also, next thing here, to actually clean off the barbells. So that barbell, as well as that bar, as well as this bar in here, we're going to start with this 3-in-1. So what this is actually going to do, it's actually going to get into the rust that's corroded into the bar, and it's going to make the scraping off process a heck of a lot easier and do a much better job. So 3-in-1, that's a must. Next thing here, you do not have to get fancy. You do not have to buy a bunch of different products. Just get you some Rustoleum hammered. Truly, this is all you need. After we get the rust off, we're going to cover with a couple coats of this, which we'll go over. And this is it. This is going to stop the rust. It's going to make them look great. Again, Rustoleum products are the way to go. Hammered is my favorite type here, but there's also like Rustoleum, just regular base coat that will honestly do the trick. A couple coats of Rustoleum is all you need. Don't get too fancy. Outside of that, get you some white markers, white paint markers. These are just some Sharpie. Again, checking the link below. After we paint these black, we're going to hit them with the white marker just to give them some of that new pop again. These weights are going to look as good as new when we're done. A couple other things here. Masking tape. So for these weights right here, once we hit the outside with paint, we obviously don't want to cover this bar. So I'm going to wrap it in masking tape. So masking tape, that's a must. Other things here. Mask, get them. You're going to be scraping off a lot of rust. You're going to be doing a lot of painting. Don't get the crap in your eyes. This is just a couple bucks. Get it. It's necessary. Same thing with a mask. This is just a regular painting mask. I think in the link it's only $1 or $2. Pick one up if you don't have any at home. Useful. Again, we're putting a lot of stuff into the air. We don't want to be inhaling it. And then a couple other things here is I have some hay bale wire. So what I'm actually going to do is when I spray these weights, I can either lay them all on a big cardboard line in the backyard, but you can kind of see here I've got quite a lot. And to be honest, I don't want all that crap laying in my yard. And then there's the whole issue. If you got this stuff, you're going to paint this stuff, and then you're going to lay it on cardboard. You're going to pick up that cardboard. It's going to get stuck on there. So the point is, hay bale wire, I'm going to hang them from my Vulcan ladder here. So truly, you'll see later in the video, I'm just going to hang the weights down with this wire. I'm going to paint the weights, and voila, I'll be done. So hay bale wire, that's a must. And some of these heavy duty pads, this is basically steel wool. So I'm going to put this on the Dremel tool, and you'll see it'll just knock that rust off like it's going out of style. So this is just to make my life easier. I can do the same thing with the brush, completely optional. But again, I got a lot of work to do here. I want some vinegar. So after we brush the rust off, you'll see that in the video, we're going to basically soak everything in vinegar, and that's going to help us get that last layer off. Vinegar is the way to go. I mean, this stuff, you'll see in the link, it's just a couple bucks. I mean, I'm going to fill up this giant tub here with a bunch of vinegar, and it'll do the job. So vinegar, that's the way to go. All right, so let's knock this bad boy out. The first weight I want to hit here is one of my 75-pound dumbbells. So again, this is a part that sucks, but I got my wire brush here. Just knock it off. I mean, you can see this crack coming off of this right away. Just getting off that kind of outer layer of crumb. And then later, after we soak it, that's when you see we kind of polish this up and we kind of get the lower level grime off. So right now, I'm just knocking off the big stuff. Whew. So that sucked. So I got the outside done here. You see, what I really did is I just knocked off the big rust that's sitting on these outside plates. So now that I got the outside done, I'm going to go ahead and hit the inside. And as I go through this, I'm going to hit it once with just a wire brush as is. And then we go ahead and I'm going to put some of the 3-in-1 oil on here right now as well. So there we go, there's that first layer there. You can see I knocked off a ton. I'm excited to see what this one's going to look like when it's all said and done. So let's go ahead and send it to 3-in-1. So again, this just kind of sets in and kind of breaks up that rust a little more. So I'm going to let that sit in there for about 30 seconds. Make sure it's completely covered. All right, so it's kind of been in there, and let's hit it again. All right, so there's round one. Wow, I mean seriously, look at that. That was complete grime. Look at how clean that is. That's just after 2, and that's like 5 minutes of scrubbing. That went from complete nasty rust to almost back to that nice looking chrome. So I'm gonna hit it about 1 or 2 more times here, and I'll be done with this dumbbell as far as getting the rust off is concerned. So I'm gonna set this one aside, and the next thing we're gonna work on here is one of these plates. So I got myself an Olympic weight here. To be honest, my Olympic weights aren't in the worst shape. I just scrubbed off one completely, wiped it down with the brush, and not a whole lot came off. But you can see, I mean, all I'm going to start with here again, I'm just hitting, I'm getting off that top layer of rust. Once I get done brushing, we're going to see more progress with these when we actually let these soak in the vinegar later, and then we scrub them and wipe them off later. So again, I'm just going to hit these with the brush real quick. So again, you can see I'm knocking up a lot of stuff there, so make sure you wear this mask. That's disgusting. The next bit I have here is a rusty old barbell. So same story as when we were doing the dumbbell. I'm just going to hit this with the wire brush, hit it with the 3-in-1 oil, hit it with the wire brush again, wipe it off, try to get it clean. This is another one I will not soak. So really what I'm about to do here, this will be it for the barbell. All right, and bring on the curl bars. So this thing is rusty as hell. So I'm gonna hit it again with the wire brush, hit it 2 or 3 times with the 3-in-1 with the wire brush, and then finish it off with the Dremel tool. We'll see how it comes out. All right, next bit here. I'm gonna load it up with half white vinegar and half water. Then we're just going to drop the weights in and let them sit for about 4 hours or longer. at least 4 hours. Okay, so there's some of the weights I put in here last night. So they've been in here for about 8 hours. And you can actually see there's something bubbling going on, which is kind of strange. So we'll see what this looks like when I get these pulled out and wiped down a little bit. Alright, so there's our first one here. See, it's still pretty rusty looking. Get a closer shot at that. Rusty. Alright. So we're going to hit it real quick with the wire brush and then we're going to wipe it down. Look at that. Back to that nice silver. Look at all the crap that's coming off there. It's crazy. So there we are. I mean, it's back to that nice, almost silver looking. All the rust essentially gone. So now from here, I'm going to hang it and then I'm going to paint it. So there we are with the weight hung up. Just going to give it 2 coats. First coat 1, and we give it about 3 or 4 minutes here, and I'll do the second coat. Coat 2. Just a quick update on where we're at. Feel free to hang multiple, make your life a little easier to let them dry. And again, it's just 2 coats on each. So I got my sanded dumbbell here. I decided not to soak it in the vinegar because this bar looks pretty good as it is, and I don't really want to soak it in the vinegar for fear that the vinegar will tear up the chrome that's on there. So I'm not going to be painting that chrome, therefore I taped it off. I am going to paint over the old weight limit or weight number, so therefore I wrote my weight here just so I know what I'm working with here when I'm done. But again, fully sanded, still working with my Rustoleum. I'm going to hit it. And on these, since I didn't decide to take apart these weights, you know, this isn't like your newer style dumbbell. I mean, these are really old, obviously. Since I didn't take these apart, I want to make sure I get down to these cracks, because if I don't, you know, the rust is exposed to air and therefore it could come back sooner than I'd like it to. So that's going to be my goal here. Just really cake these bad boys, at least down in the cracks. So anyways, when I'm done, they look like this. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to do 2 coats, and then we'll move on to the next step. And a quick shot to the dumbbells here. You see, the big thing was making sure you got underneath. But outside of that, hanging them. That was the way to go. Alright, here we go with the curl bar. See, I got it on plywood instead of cardboard. That way I'm not going to pull up any of that crap with it. And again, just going to make sure I get all ends. I'm going to do 2 coats on it. I decided to do the outside of the curl bar, but not the inside. Quick flash forward. Use my white Sharpie paint marker. This one said 20 from before, somewhere on there, 20. Obviously I knew it was 20 now. So now, just gotta pull off the tape. Alright, here's where if you have a little Dremel, this is a Dremel Versa. It's a good way to kind of polish up and get off the, you know, some of that last little bit that we missed earlier. So it doesn't look like much, but you can see it is taking some stuff off there. So again, a Dremel Verso, which is also in the link below. All right, everyone, that about wraps it up. There we go, I got the numbers painted on, last bit here. And there we are. So you can notice on some of these, still needs a little bit more work. I hit it with the wire brush a couple more times at 3-in-1. But from what it started with to what it is now, it is 10 times better. So what I started with was some pretty beat to shit old gym equipment, rusty as hell. You can see it is completely turned around. Got myself some nice gym equipment now, ready to go to work. Again, check out the link below to get everything you need to get this project done. And if you have any questions, feedback, etc., comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks.